Hello, everyone, and welcome to Wingcat Sports. It's our weekly NFC North breakdown. Talk about what's going on in the division. We'll start with the sad game of the day. Obviously, Packers on a bye. Wasn't the most helpful for them because two of the teams in the division won, but they didn't play. But we'll start with the loss. And it's a sad day in Chicago, losing again, 19-3 to the Patriots at home.
God, that was such an awful game. New England sucks.
They do suck.
They stink. And they sacked you like 6 times, I think, or something.
9.
9 times they sacked him?
9 times.
Shut up! What's even the point of running
9
a pass play?
times.
You can't block the
He
New
was
England
16.
Patriots.
He was 16 for 30 through 120 yards, but due
That
to
can't
his
be
sack, it
all
went down to
offensive
6-9.
line. Some of that has to be Caleb Williams.
I mean, 9 times,
That's
though?
just not.
They ran for 73 yards, only threw for 120.
Well, somebody was talking about Ben Johnson being their coach next year because this guy can't be.
Let's look at all the stats.
But I don't think Ben Johnson would take that.
How many turnovers did they have? Surprisingly, the Bears had no turnovers, so their offense just never got going.
Oh my God!
Against the Patriots,
the mighty Patriots, they're garbage.
They are garbage this year. But I mean,
the Bears are garbage. We kind of thought the way they started out, maybe the Bears are going to be some problems, but they are what we thought they would have been at the beginning of the year.
It might have just been it could have just been a bad day, but at the same time,
3 in a row. You can't lose to the Patriots. You're in our division. You're trying to stay up with the big boys like the Packers and us,
and they do not have a
Minnesota Vikings, and the Bears couldn't lose this game.
They do not have a good stretch coming up, and obviously we'll talk about that when I look in the future. But that is a bad day for the Bears to lose 19-3 to the Patriots. I mean, Drake May was 15 for 25. They didn't even throw 200 yards. He didn't even get touched on a sack. He was for 184 yards, 15-25, and they ran for 144. So not even a big offensive day for the Patriots.
No,
it was just a very bad day for the Bears. And again, like you're saying, if you want to keep up in this division, you got to win. You got to beat a team like the Patriots because they're going to be in trouble these next few weeks with who they're playing.
The Bears are pretty much done as far as I'm concerned.
They're the least of our worries. And moving on to a little bit of the other sad game of the day, but they won. The Vikings only beating the Jacksonville Jaguars without Trevor Lawrence. They had Mac Jones playing. They only beat him 12-7.
They said it was the first time since 2006 that a team had 3 interceptions, didn't score a touchdown, and still won. Or something like that. They won like 12-3 or something, 12-9.
Yeah, Sam Darnold threw 12-7.
12-7. Okay.
Sam Darnold threw 3 interceptions. They ran for 169 yards. He threw for 241. So overall, technically not the worst offensive day to have, besides your interceptions. Mac Jones, however, threw for 111, 14 for 22, 2 interceptions. So there was not a single TD thrown. The only TD was a rushing TD.
This means Sam Darnold's coming back down to earth and playing at the level we all expected him to play at.
12-7 is not a great. 12-7 is not a great game against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Right, they stink too.
They stink. They're without Trevor Lawrence for the rest of the year. So
are they?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Potential, most likely out.
When do we play them?
Next week.
Yeah. They're our next opponent.
Yeah, but we'll go over there.
Go to Indy.
But again, not the greatest game for the Vikings because you didn't even get a touchdown. You just kicked 4 field goals and ended up winning. I guess it's better than the game last year. You only win 3-0, but it's not great when that's how you're playing against a 2-8 team,
right?
And now going to the game that you went to bed early on.
I kind of seen the highlights, but I got to wake up at 5 a.m. So it's hard. And I would have stayed up if I thought, maybe I should have had more faith.
We thought this was going to be a bad week overall for the NFC North.
Like a bad week.
And somehow Jared Goff, even though he was 15 for 30, 240 yards, he threw 2 TDs, 5 interceptions on a day, really 2 to 3 interceptions, because 2 of them were tipped, and then 1 at halftime on a Hail Mary. So really 2 on him, but 5
I,
interceptions on the day. We ran for another 105 yards. Somehow, the defense for the Lions kept the Texans scoreless in the second half, which allowed us to come back. And Jake Bates kicking 2 field goals at the end of the game, a 52 and a 58 yarder, just barely gracing the goalpost and walking off in Houston.
yeah, I like what the one broadcaster said. If they had put another coat of paint on the goalpost, they probably wouldn't have made it.
He skinned those goalposts both times.
Yeah, that was great though. I mean, like I said, the Lions. You can't, like I said, this is something I've never experienced in my 50 plus years of watching this team. Um, this is different. This is a real legit elite football team that you can't ever give up on. And I like it in the first half, and you got to excuse them. Their offensive line really wasn't playing as well as it could have. I think that's part of
Jerkoff
the
didn't get
reason.
sacked though.
He didn't get sacked, but he was getting hit and he got
He,
disrupted quite a bit. And probably he wasn't on his game too. I mean, I don't know. He's entitled to a bad game now and then.
and even
So
with your bad game, you won.
right,
And this is the first time since 1954 the Lions have been 8-1. So I don't know when the last time they were 9-1 or 10-1 or anything like that. But we're on pace to do something that we haven't done,
right,
which is out of the norm for most Lions fans. Sometimes it's a slap back into how we used to be, but now we don't even know how to act. We're getting so used to winning.
right. Well, like I said,
Losing's kind of like
it's a nice problem to have, and yeah, I'm sure we're kind of annoying to the other fan bases because they're used to us being the doormat. They don't like, seeing us shove it in their faces. I watched some podcast the other day from the Packers and stuff, and they were just really petty, talking
Mhm.
about how Amon St. Brown was insulting and disrespecting. It's like, shut up. Just shut the hell up. Been on top of the division for
You're
30 some years.
you're just not happy that the
Right. I
team
mean,
that's
it's just
always sucked is playing well. We're not at the same level the Browns are at. The Browns look like they ever might have been doing the same thing that we were. The problem with the Browns is they fell back. They tripped over their own feet. We haven't tripped yet.
no, I mean, like I said, the pieces have finally fallen in place. There's no guarantee we're going to win the Super Bowl, but we have a legit elite team. We have a contender. We have somebody who has as good a chance as anybody else. The AFC still has teams that are pretty darn good. I'll be curious when we play the Bills. Uh,
They're saying that game needs to be flexed to prime time because that's a potential Super Bowl matchup.
but it is a
Just
potential
like this
Super
was a
Bowl matchup.
potential Super Bowl matchup.
Well, I mean, and I think what you have in the NFC is you have two teams at this time that have a legit chance to make the Super Bowl in the NFC, and that's the Eagles and the Lions. I don't think the other teams have a shot. I think in the AFC you got what, Kansas City, Baltimore, Buffalo,
Kansas City. I mean, I would say Houston's possible.
and the LA Chargers are
Uh,
playing well.
Pittsburgh, even though Pittsburgh is
I
playing
mean, you have
real
like a
well,
half a dozen teams in
Baltimore's
the
playing real well.
right. You have a half a dozen teams in the AFC that could play with us and could play, and could make the Super Bowl. So there's no guarantees, no matter how good we're playing.
And then you're look around the league. Winning each division. The Eagles have now taken the league in the East. Washington lost to Pittsburgh, so they're 7-3. Atlanta's still winning the South.
What
And
are the
the
Eagles?
Eagles are 7-2.
Okay, so they're only half games.
Arizona is taking control of the West, 6-4 right now. San Francisco's only a game behind at half a game at 5-4.
Yeah, I think San Francisco, as they get healthy, will catch them. How are the Rams doing?
The Rams are right behind them at 4-4.
Okay.
But they play tonight. Because I haven't made the video. I made the video before Monday Night Football. So
Who's playing tonight?
Miami and LA.
The Rams?
Yep.
Ooh, that's not
Uh,
actually not a bad game
but
to watch.
looking ahead at all
Oh,
our
that's right. Your fantasy team. You gotta
yeah
hope Tua
yeah,
sucks
let's
tonight.
hope Tua sucks tonight. But looking ahead at our games inside the division, Lions playing the Jaguars. They're favored by 13 points,
Should be
47.5.
massacred.
It is likely a Lions
Is that
victory.
a home game?
It is a home
We
game.
should mask. That's just
They should be 9-1. That's
an
hence when was the
annihilation.
last time the Lions were 9-1? I'll find out when we are watching the game and they throw that graphic up
Is that a
because that's how I
1:00
find
game?
out every week. Yeah, it'll be a 1 o'clock
Yeah,
game.
there you go.
They're gonna put that on prime time.
Boo!
They ain't gonna put that on prime time. Vikings. The Vikings. They are going to play in the. They're going to go to Tennessee and play the Titans. Favored by 6 points. I would agree with that. However, we'll see what happens since they just struggled against the
They should win
Jaguars.
that game.
They should beat the Titans, but they should have beat
Yeah,
the
they should.
Jaguars. And look at how that game went.
That's
So I
true.
guess we will see how that game goes. Our poor little lonely Chicago Bears right now needing some little help. Here's the problem. They're going through a stretch where they are going to be in trouble. They play Green Bay next week. Green Bay's favored by 6.
Yeah, Green Bay. Green Bay
Uh,
should beat them pretty soundly.
However, the thing for them, they are at home. So
The Bears are?
Yes, Bears are at home.
That makes a huge difference. Not. Just embarrass them at home.
But the problem with the Bears schedule, if they're going to try and get back on track, is who they're facing the next few weeks as we look ahead. Packers this week, Vikings next week. And then we're going to go play the Lions on Thanksgiving. Right there, they could go through an 0-3 stretch.
Yeah, I think, like I said, the Bears are about to hit their
49ers after that
hit the slide
in San Francisco. And then, maybe we'll have a chance to get back after that 5-game stretch. You have a break. No, you don't. You're going to go to Minnesota. And then the Lions are going to come visit you. And then you're going to play the Seahawks. And then you're going to play the Packers.
Oh, man. That's a rough crap team like that. They might not win a game for quite a while.
So the Bears are in some trouble the rest of the season. Obviously, if you figure it out, it's going to be the time to figure it out because you are in trouble. When it comes to the other teams like the Packers, the rest of the year for them, after the Bears, they're going to play the 49ers at home, Dolphins at home, come to Detroit for Thursday night football, then go to Seattle. Those are the. I wouldn't be surprised if they go 3-2 the next few games. They could be better than that. Obviously, Packers are playing real well. We'll see what kind of happens. They should beat the Bears. I can see them beating the Seahawks. I can see them beating the Dolphins. 49ers and Lions are their iffy games. We'll see where that will go as the 49ers do get healthier.
Right.
You don't got anything on that? Okay. Vikings wise, the Vikings, they have a decent stretch coming up too. After the Titans, they're going to play the Bears. And then they play the Cardinals in Minnesota, Falcons in Minnesota. Kirk Cousins return to Minnesota.
That'll be fun.
Then they play the Bears again on Monday Night Football.
But things are starting to come together in the division. We're starting to weed out the people. And I think you're going to see slowly but surely, I think Green Bay and Detroit will rise to the top of our division. Well,
yeah, because the Lions have a decent stretch coming up. They're going to play the Jaguars. They're going to play the Colts. Then you're going to play the Bears.
Right. We should win all 3 of those games.
Before
what, 11-1?
That would put you at 11-1. Before you play the Green Bay Packers on Thursday Night Football at home. And depending on how that goes, you could be 12-1 going into the Bills at home.
Wow. Well, they should win the next 3 games. They should.
They should win the next 3.
And
however,
that
you have
right there should lock you into a playoff spot. Woo! Then you can worry about that number 1 seed.
Right there, you'd be 11-1. If you beat the Bears, you're 11-1 on Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving has always been our crap game.
You play the Bears on Thanksgiving. You could be 11-1 on Thanksgiving if you win. You got a week break until you play the Packers because you play them on Thursday Night Football. And then you get an extended break going into the Bills game. So the Lions could very well end up 12-1 going into the Bills game, end up 13-1 coming out of it, depending on how everything goes, injuries, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at an 11-1 team really right now. I can't see any way around that unless something a major upset happens because there ain't no way Jaguars, Colts, and Bears should be able to play with us.
No, but I mean, it'll be an interesting week. With all that being said, though, if you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, share the video around. Let me know what you think about what's going around in the division, even the league. And until next time, hope to see everybody soon.